From 1989 to 1994, only one wide receiver in the entire NFL caught more passes than Sterling Sharpe. His name was Jerry Rice. 6 years. That's how long these two ran side by side at the top of the league. 6 years of record-breaking seasons, back-to-back Pro Bowls, and a Packers offense that was just starting to become something dangerous. And then quietly, without warning, without a big send-off moment, it was over. No farewell season, no ceremony at midfield, one doctor's visit, 2 words, you're done. He was 29 years old, and the Packers, the team he spent 6 years building, won the Super Bowl without him just 2 years later. 31 years passed before the Hall of Fame finally called his name. This is Sterling Sharpe. Green Bay in 1988 was not a desirable destination. The Packers had just gone 5-9-1 in a strike-shortened season. No quarterback, no playoffs in 6 years, no real reason for optimism. But they had the 7th pick in the draft, and they used it on a wide receiver out of South Carolina named Sterling Sharpe. As a rookie, Sharpe caught 55 balls for 791 yards. Quiet by his later standards, but the thing that stood out wasn't the numbers. It was how he played. He didn't avoid contact. He looked for it. The next year, 1989, he made his first Pro Bowl, first team All-Pro. He was 23 years old. But here's the thing. Green Bay still couldn't get him the ball consistently. They didn't have a quarterback who could push the ball downfield. That changed in 1992. Brett Favre completed his first career start, and just like that, Sterling Sharpe had his quarterback. In their first full season together, what they produced was something the NFL hadn't ever seen before. In the history of the NFL's Super Bowl era, only 5 wide receivers have ever led the league in catches, yards, and touchdowns in the same season. In 1992, Sterling Sharpe became one of them. 108 receptions, 1,461 yards, 13 touchdowns. And here's the part people forget. Jerry Rice was still Jerry Rice in 1992. He was healthy, he was dominant, he was in his prime, and Sharpe still outscored him. But Sharpe wasn't done yet, because in 1993, the very next year, he looked at his own record and broke it. 112 catches, back-to-back record-breaking seasons. By now, Green Bay was building something real. Favre was ascending fast, and Sterling Sharpe was the engine that made all of it run. 3 times in his career, voters named him the best receiver in football. And understand what that means. Jerry Rice was healthy for every single one of those seasons. The voters still picked Sharpe. Everything was pointing towards a Super Bowl, a legacy, a gold jacket. Then came December 1994, and everything fell apart. Green Bay versus Atlanta. Sharpe runs a route over the middle, takes a hit, and gets up. Nobody thinks anything of it. Not the coaches, not the trainers. It was a stinger. The next week, against Tampa Bay, he played and caught 3 touchdowns. 3 touchdowns in the last NFL game Sterling Sharpe would ever play. His teammates didn't know. The coaches didn't know. Even Sterling Sharpe didn't know. Then he went to the doctor. 2 loose vertebrae at the top of the spine. 1 more hit. That's all it would take. No farewell game. No send-off at Lambeau. No nothing. 29 years old. Done. Just 2 years later, Brett Favre leads the Green Bay Packers to Super Bowl 31. They win it, and Sterling Sharpe watches from home. There's a specific kind of pain in that. He spent 6 years building what that offense became. He was the reason Favre had confidence early. He was the one who made Green Bay impossible to game plan for. And when that trophy finally arrived, he wasn't there. Meanwhile, his brother was becoming a legend of his own. Shannon Sharpe went on to win 3 Super Bowls, make 8 Pro Bowls, and in 2011, he stood at the podium in Canton and gave one of the most emotional Hall of Fame speeches anyone had ever heard. He said something that night that nobody in that room forgot. He said he was the only player in the Hall of Fame who was the second best player in his own family. Think about that. A Hall of Famer publicly saying his brother was better. And the voters still made Sterling wait. 15 more years. The knock was always the same. His career was too short. 7 seasons, wasn't enough. Peak production without longevity didn't qualify. So let me put this in perspective. Thurman Thomas, Hall of Famer, 65 career rushing touchdowns. Jerome Bettis, Hall of Famer, 91 career rushing touchdowns. Curtis Martin, Hall of Famer, 90 career rushing touchdowns. Sterling Sharpe, 65 career receiving touchdowns, the same number as Thurman Thomas, in 7 seasons. And from 1989 to 1994, the only player in the entire NFL who caught more passes than Sterling Sharpe was Jerry Rice. The voters still told him to wait. August 2025, 31 years after that doctor's visit that ended everything, Sterling Sharpe walked into Canton. 4 names, one of the smallest classes since 2005, all of them belonging. But think about what this moment actually meant. The voters kept him out for over 2 decades, said his career was too short, said longevity mattered more than what you did while you were out there. 7 seasons wasn't enough, they said. 108 catches in a single season, then 112 the year after. A receiving triple crown, 3 first-team All-Pros. The only receiver in football catching more passes than him was Jerry Rice, and they still said no, year after year. Then came the moment that stopped the room. Sterling Sharpe didn't talk about the injury, didn't talk about the years he lost, didn't mention the voters who kept telling him he wasn't good enough for Canton. He just looked over at his brother and smiled, and told Shannon he could be the only man in the building with 2 gold jackets. Shannon said it first, back in 2011. He stood at that same podium and told the world his brother was better than him. 14 years later, Canton finally agreed. The Hall of Fame is supposed to honor the best players to ever play this game. Sterling Sharpe was that. He just had to wait 31 years for everyone else to catch up. Here's the question I want you to sit with. If Sterling Sharpe never sees that doctor, if those vertebrae never show up on that scan, does he pass Jerry Rice in the record books? He was 29, coming off back-to-back record-breaking seasons, playing alongside a quarterback who was about to win a Super Bowl. I think it's a lot closer than people want to admit. Drop your answers in the comments, and if you think Sterling Sharpe belongs in the conversation for the greatest receivers of all time, regardless of how short his career was, let me know below. If you're new here, we tell the stories the NFL doesn't want you to remember. Hit subscribe and the notification bell so you don't miss the next one. This is the Gameday Giants, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.